welcome to episode number 38 of DTC Blowin' Smoke Podcast. I am your host, Candy Randy. Want to say a big thank you to Miguel Chodell and Paul Rechtenwald, who were here for episode 37, Cigars 101. A great informative podcast, a whole lot of information. Miguel is an expert on just about everything tobacco related, and we hope to have him back in the shop very, very soon. And Paul was visiting and kind enough to sit in and learn some stuff with us. So if you haven't seen it already, make sure you check that out. That's episode 37 up on YouTube. That is Cigars 101, which brings us to today. Joining me, as always, behind the board, mixing and mastering, is the preacher, Ethan. Hello, Ethan.
Hello.
And second time on the podcast, to my right, your left, is the kid, Bacon. Hello, Bacon.
Hi, how you guys doing?
Very good. See, you already got that down. And as always, the man in charge, Mr. Wild Bill. How are you doing, Bill?
I'm well. Thank you very much for asking.
Very good.
Whatever day it is.
It's the 10th of October. See? We just finished up a great event with Tony from Crux,
Yeah,
the Gator, for Oktoberfest. I had a great band, Doc Field's Cyberdelic Voodoo. A little bit different than what we normally do, but had a great response. And we appreciate everyone coming out and hanging out and smoking some great Crux cigars with Tony. We got a bunch more crazy events coming up we'll let you know about in just a little bit. But first, we're going to start where we always start, and we'll start with Preacher this time. Ethan, what are you smoking?
I have got a Crux Limitada and a fine cup of Philly espresso.
And where did you find that espresso?
We just got our new espresso machine in today, so I'm
Thank you for that.
Yeah, fantastic.
We did?
Yeah.
This is news to me.
Well, if you'd come in earlier, we'd see things.
Ooh, shots fired already. And if you don't
Come
know,
on, get whippy.
Belinda is with Toscanello, and we have wonderful, well, sometimes we call them Kentucky Cheroots, and they do carry that brand, but these are Italian fire-cured cigars and cigarillos on the counter, different flavors and natural as well. We went to visit her at the trade show, and she's like, hey, I've got this espresso machine. Would you like one? And what did we say, Bill?
No.
Well, Bill might have said no. What did your team say?
Come on, dude. Let's go. She only gave us two. But hey, you forgot to ask the kid what he's smoking.
We haven't got there yet.
Oh,
You're up next. Bill, what are you smoking?
a cigar.
Yeah, very good.
From Honduras, the CLE 25th anniversary. It's exquisite, medium body. Whole bunch going on.
Always nice to have something from Christian Arroyo and the company. And I am smoking something very, very special that unfortunately you cannot buy here at Deadwood Tobacco Company. This is the crappy label right here because it's a very special cigar that our good friend TC, as he is known around here, Big Tony Canada, brought us back some presents because in Canada, they are allowed to have things we are not allowed to have. So I am smoking a Partagas Series D number 5 real Cuban cigar.
Wow, I thought I got the number 4s.
Number 5. This is, I'm not going to lie, the second one that he was nice enough to let me have, and it's absolutely delicious. Very, very medium, very smooth. Different than some of the stuff we have in the humidor, but there's a lot comparable as well, and it's enjoyable to have something a little bit off the wall every now and then. Which leads me to the kid who was smoking something very off the wall. Jacob, what are you smoking today?
I had to double check the wrap on it. GL, Bill, do you remember GL?
I know exactly what it is.
Oh,
It's GL starts with a P. It's a Balkan blend.
It's 20 years old.
Yeah, 2003. So just 3 years younger than I am.
We cracked it open today when he came to work so he could enjoy some Oreo, some Virginias, and Latikias that have been well exposed to the nuttiness and undertone of smoke with the sweet, sweet aroma of a beautiful caramel.
Jacob, are you getting all those notes?
There's a very smooth, like, wininess, not very acidic. It's actually very nice on the palate.
What would you compare it to that you've had previously? Anything?
The closest I would get would be like when Joe Fabian brought in an 8-year aged haunted bookshop.
Very good.
Be the closest, but it's not even that close.
And we do carry the Haunted Bookshop, not the 8-year age, but if you're into the pipe tobacco, make sure you come in, visit the shop, and ask for the kid, our resident pipe expert. Right?
Yeah.
He'll take it.
Ditto.
So that's what we're smoking today. And so the feature of today's podcast, episode number 38, is something we dreamed up as we are coming into the winter season here. A lot of people smoke based on the time of the day, based on their attitude, based on what they've been eating or drinking. And I've noticed as we've gotten cooler temperatures, people have started to gravitate more towards the darker, more full-bodied cigars. So Ethan and I and Grimes and the shop and the team were talking, and we have decided to launch a Maduro Pack of 5 cigars, all Maduro, that you can find in our humidor so that you can come grab that pack, take it home, put it under for about a month, and on November 7th, we will air the podcast where we will all be smoking one of the 5 cigars. Stash will be joining us as well, and then we'll be pairing them with some of our favorite drinks. Be wine, whiskey, beer, you name it. So those packs will be on sale as soon as this hits YouTube on the 10th of October. Ethan, tell us a little bit about that pack.
Is it a thing that people smoke darker cigars when the weather gets colder?
That's what I've started to notice, but granted, it's my first winter.
Really?
Have you not?
I mean, I smoke them all the time.
That's true. And Bill does as well. Although, Bill, you're more of a time of day smoker, correct? You start off with something a little bit lighter?
Correct. And then I just work my palate up.
What's fantastic about Maduros, this is kind of a spinoff. We got so much great information when Miguel was here with the Cigar 101 deal that I just think it's fantastic to continue the education and give people a sample pack of Maduros so that they can get kind of a primer on the wide variety of Maduro wrappers that are out there, and smoke them with us so that we can compare notes.
And just basically, Bill, can you tell the folks what constitutes a Maduro in the basic terms of a cigar?
The seed.
The seed?
Yeah, that's the basics.
How about a little bit further? Let's go to Cigar 102.
Well, it's going to depend on what Maduro. You got San Andreas Mexican Maduro, you got Connecticut broadleaf. So it depends on what you're using the blend for, right? And then how you're going to age it. Well, do you want to age it, right? Because sometimes you don't want to age a Connecticut broadleaf. Other times you might want to for whatever reason you want that blend to be. And with all the different shades of Maduro out there, there's just so much you can do. So.
And in general terms, for the novice cigar smoker, a Maduro, generally speaking, is going to be more full-bodied and a little bit stronger than some of the others.
I wouldn't subscribe to that because in your pack you have 3 cigars that are pretty mild.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all Maduros.
But as compared to the other 2 Maduros in the pack, they're mild to that, or are they mild against, say, a CLE Connecticut?
Well, you can't compare Connecticut with a broadleaf. They're 2 different leaves. Number one, they have different attributes. One's thicker, one's not. But when you look at Maduros, Caguaman has a nice Maduro, but the Caguaman Connecticut's much stronger.
Fair enough.
It's deceptive, right? I mean, you can get an Oscuro that is just jet black and oily, and a Maduro is not. I mean, Maduro just basically means ripe.
Right. Ready, right. Let's smoke it.
Are Maduro wrappers generally aged longer than other wrappers, or is that up to the blender?
That's really up to the manufacturer, because when you look at, since you got Ashton, that's age 5, then they make La Aroma with my father using a broadleaf, but you can tell it doesn't have the aging, doesn't have the deep rich oils, doesn't have the eggplant purple color.
But generally they ferment them longer, which gives you the darker coloration to the wrapper, correct?
Yeah, it's going to depend on what you want it to do. Like, there's different processes out there to get that Maduro cooking, per se, parentheses. Some people naturally compost it, right? A lot of heat and pressure of that bulk to create that beautiful oily color. Other people might dip it. Other people might spray it. And you can tell that sometimes when you're smoking a cigar, it looks like you ate a bunch of Oreo cookies.
That they painted it? Is that what you're saying?
Just saying. It looks like a bunch of Oreo cookies.
No names. Kid,
No.
why don't you share with the folks what is in the Maduro Pack that our team here at Deadwood Tobacco has picked for us to smoke and you to smoke with us on November 7th?
So, what we've got going on. Starting off, we've got the CLE Prieto. Wonderful, nice smoke. Kind of leans more medium body with a bit more kind of chocolatey coffee. That's what I get off of it. Then the Crux Epicure Maduro. It's built off the same filler binder as the rest of Crux's Epicure line. So that Habano and their Connecticut. It's actually my personal favorite cigar currently. Wonderful Mexican San Andreas wrapper made with AJ Fernandez. A little more medium body, just like the Prieto, but more kind of cocoa and molasses with cedar and your natural tobacco. The Cabaguan is actually the one that's out of my wheelhouse the most, but made by Tatawahe. And I haven't had a Tatawahe I haven't liked yet. I actually have been dabbling more, Bill, and I've been really liking them.
Your palate's getting stronger.
Yes, it is.
What's weird about that one is they say that the wrapper is Ecuadorian broadleaf.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Tough to make a wrapper out of.
Just saying.
And just that because it's off of kind of out of their norm.
I don't know of another Maduro broadleaf that comes out of Ecuador. I mean, there's probably a bunch, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here going, yeah. So you took a broadleaf seed and you grew it in Ecuador.
Yeah.
Underneath the cloud cover.
Yeah. I can't think of anywhere else that's done it. Anywho, back to the pen.
Yeah, the pack.
The Ashton Age Maduro is the fourth up. Connecticut broadleaf from the Connecticut River Valley, Dominican filler binder. They aged that for 5 years in that composting style Bill talked about. Nice mild to medium smoke. One of my first ventures into Maduro myself, and I still love that smoke to this day. And then to cap it all off, it's the Armas. Insert whatever number it is for ring size.
I think we went with the 52.
We went with the 52? Awesome. Armas, great. Blended by Tim Ozinger. So you're going to know his father from CAO fame, and a wonderfully nice heavy smoke with a lot of spice going on.
And that's a relatively new one to our humidors. And within the last few months, obviously, Bill, you've got a long history with the Ashton brand. And we were lucky enough to talk with Pete Johnson about the Tatawahe at the latest PCA. Tony from Crux was just here. And of course, Christian Arroyo and the folks at CLE Arroyo with the Prieto, which is the first venture to a broadleaf Maduro in the entire CLE portfolio. So it's box pressed. And really, really nice. I get a little more chocolatey notes in that than some of the others that are in the pack as well.
Do you know why the Prieto's a box press?
I do not.
Do you know Preacher?
I mean, it's sexy.
Nah. No, we were standing there in the factory when Christian told us. Remember, he said, "Yeah, I don't know why, but every cigar had to be box press." Because if you look at his line, there's a shitload of box presses.
Well, you're smoking the 25th anniversary box press right now.
Yeah, so that was just something he went through. He just went through in every cigar line. He just box press.
Interesting. Yeah, because it's time to think of it. The first 20 years, that's box pressed in here. We do have a number of his Asylum lines as well that are not. But yeah, the CLE core. Now that I think of it, looking about,
I never even thought about it. I totally missed that conversation.
Well, the CBTs, those
You
are probably
probably were taking pictures.
probably a good bet. So, Bill, just off the top of your head, the 5 that we've got in the pack, what would you say on any given day would be your go-to of those 5? Do you have a personal preference?
It's either going to be the Aged Maduro by Ashton or the Prieto by CLE. Because I don't do many Maduros and I like a lighter one in the morning. Then I'll build up to something stronger.
Kid, what do you think?
Me personally, it's got to be the Epicure. It's the Epicure Maduro for me every day. I love it. And I'm not just saying that. It's totally just
Yeah, it doesn't do any good to kiss his ass now that he's been gone for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing
It's the mail.
Care package for the kid from Crux. I think Ethan and I might agree, but mine is definitely, the Oscar It's been a stick that I fell in love with since it's hit our shelves. I was really a big fan of the Phosphorus, which is their natural as well. But once that one came in, it's been one that if I really want a big meaty steak, especially on a Friday or Saturday when we're closing up about 11 o'clock, getting ready to, that's a great steak.
What's interesting about, some of the Maduro cigars, especially out of Nicaragua, you can get just a really heavy powerhouse cigar that is one note, and you get pepper and you get spice, and that's about it. And Tim is doing some really great stuff. It's nuanced. It's got a ton of stuff going on, and from the description, this has got broadleaf filler to it, which is another thing that I'm like,
what is the natural characteristic of a broadleaf that you always get? Sweetness, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes you use a Cameroon, sometimes you use Connecticut, sometimes you use a broadleaf. That's what you're talking about, the nuances, right? So that nuance of that sweetness is going to be able to come out and finesse some of that pepper.
Yep.
Some of that spice.
Well, and I think a lot of people will steer away from a Maduro cigar because they associate it with pepper and spice, and they're like, I need something light. And what they don't realize, like the Crux Epicure, it is right on the box, man. There is a sweetness inherent to the wrapper that you can bring out in a Maduro, which is one of the reasons why I love it so much, man.
And if you walk in the humidor and you want to get a crux and you look at the Epicure Maduro right next to the Bull and Bear, even with their great labeling that they do, their branding, they have a strength meter, and they have tasting notes on their box. The Epicure Maduro appears darker in the wrapper, but it smokes way lighter than the Bull and Bear is.
And like that Ashton Aged Maduro, that's a great cigar to have with dessert, man. There's a nice molasses to it. There's some almond, there's some maple. It's fantastic.
So we'd like to tell you again, these are going to be on sale right now. This is the 10th of October. They're in the humidor. You have a chance to get them. They are limited to the first 20 people that come in. Of course, you can smoke them anytime, but we would really like it if you would grab them, hang on to them for a couple of weeks, and then on the 7th of November or shortly thereafter, get together with your buddies, crack open your pack, and smoke them with us as we pair them with some of our favorite beverages. Not to give anything away, but I am probably leaning towards, now we haven't picked who's going to smoke what, by the way. It's the four of us and Stash will be the fifth one smoking one of those. But right now I'm leaning towards this delicious Shiner Black Lager, which we hear rumors we may be getting on tap sometime after the new year as well here at the shop.
So you pass up a nice pour of rum.
Maybe. You know what, though? Now that you brought that up, I might go with a port. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what shows up that day.
Yes. The benefit of these packs is, you can smoke a ton of cigars, and it's like beer, man. I've had a bunch of really unique beers that I just can't remember. But if you smoke these with us, it will. That's part of the joy, right? You experience it together, and then you gain an appreciation for what's out there. Different countries, from Mexican to Ecuadorian. I just think it's going to be great, man.
Now, we did have one little hiccup on this pack.
What's that?
Which I'll take the fault for. Because we didn't get it in time, and the printing company couldn't get it to us before we got our deadline. Normally, we're going to put a little card in here with the cigar so you can read what the filler binder wrapper is. And go from there.
Yep.
So in the future, our packs will have that. I just messed the time schedule up.
Not to say that we can't squeeze that in because we probably have a couple of weeks. I doubt we're going to sell out 20 packs in one day, but we'll work on that so that we can have something for the folks to read about as they get ready to smoke it with us. And I'm excited. And the nice thing is about this pack, as the team put it together, we've got 5 different manufacturers represented as well. Even though we carry a number of Maduros from different single manufacturers, this is a really nice cross-section. And not a ton of size variance in there, but nothing in there is going to, there's no Churchills. There's nothing with a big 60 ring gauge. That's
why I was a little bit disappointed, man.
Because you do
some people will be disappointed because they don't get the big ring.
Yeah.
But at the same time, these aren't necessarily just here, just make a pack up. These are things we smoke.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
And you can go online and check the website. There's many more Maduros and many more other cigars we have, but this is just something we do.
Yep.
So we're looking forward to sharing our opinion with you and also your opinion with us after the podcast comes out and we have smoked it together on November 7th. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you tasted because everyone's palate is a little bit different. Novice smokers, experienced smokers, everyone in between. When you pair it with an alcohol or non-alcoholic beverage of your choice, it might change the way the nuances of the flavors come through. And we're interested to hear what you think about that. Good or bad. If there's something you don't care for, hey man, every cigar is not for every individual. That's the fun of it.
Do you want some homework?
Well, I mean, can I cheat off the kid?
Well,
yes.
If they like and subscribe, all the people that do will put a name in a hat and draw a pack out, and we'll create a pack especially for them.
It's a great idea.
Well, and the whole other kind of variable would be, what are you going to pair with it, right?
Well, that's a card would have it. You know, you could do a aged Maduro, you could do a wine, but yet the earth tones on the eyes are very rum. Both have sweetness.
Yeah, and that's what I want to hear from you coming out on this episode is like, what would you pair with these individual Maduros? Like, what would you say this is going to complement this specific cigar perfectly?
Well, that'll be our homework. I think because we each have expressed a preference for the pack, I think we should probably draw so that no one can just pick the one they love. We'll probably draw between the five of us. And you get the cigar you're assigned, and then the homework, Bill, could be what is the best pairing in your mind for that cigar as we smoke it on the 7th of November.
That means you guys are going to have to smoke the cigar and pair it up before you get here.
That's quite all right. I think we've got a few cigars in the humidor to choose from. We'll be able to make it happen.
And that's what's crazy. I mean, you could do coffee with some of these. You could do rum with some of these. You could do beer. I mean,
You could add nuts, chocolate, fruit.
Yeah. Oh, now we're getting there. Yeah. Yep.
Because remember, if you're going to take a cigar, say with a wine, and you got a fruity wine, you're going to want something to clean the palate, a dry nut, no salt. And then you're going to want to put the fruit back. So dark chocolate, nuts, and dark berries.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, you're not sitting eating all the fruit. You're just blowing in your mouth, letting that flavor and that natural sugar explode. And then when you take that puff, it's like silky sugar all across your tongue.
yeah, and that was one of the things in the conversation I had with you, Bill, back in the day. I would describe a Maduro as having an inherent sweetness and cream. And you're like, no, it's not cream, man. It's silky. And so there's a lot of...
Okay, see, so think about this when you talk about cream. You got milk, you got almond milk, right?
Yep.
And coconut milk. If you drink milk, it's okay, you get the fat. But when you have almond milk, there's like a silkiness to it that goes right across your mouth. And the same thing with the other. So it's kind of like cigars. They're all Maduros, but they're going to affect you differently. So you got to add different things that are going to influence it. Because each one of those.
Yep.
So there it is, ladies and gentlemen, the Osgener Aramis Maduro, Ashton aged Maduro, Cabaguan, Guapos RX Maduro, Crux Epicure Maduro, and the CLE Prieto. There is your 5-pack available right now, under $80 in the store right now. Go grab them. Only 20 packs left. Like I said before, smoke them now if you feel like it. If you want to save it, smoke with us and share your opinion. We would sure appreciate that. As always, tons of stuff going on here at DTC, the venue at 715 Main Street. This weekend is Wild West Songwriters Festival, and we are very, very happy to host on Friday night the 13th, Mr. Mark Joseph, who has been here a few times, including with Stan the Man Behrens from the band War. He was here earlier this year. He will be hosting the Regional Songwriters Jam on Friday night. Some of the best songwriters in the region and a bunch of national guys coming down too, sharing the stage with a full backline, drums, bass, guitar, you name it. They'll be up here 8 until midnight. And then since that's typically kind of a country based, a lot of blues in there as well, we're going to go with a brand new band to us on this Saturday, the 14th. Hunker Robinson and the boys from Whiskey Rio will be making their debut here at Deadwood Tobacco Company. So Wild West Songwriters Festival Regional Jam on Friday, Whiskey Rio on Saturday night. Please check the website, deadwoodtobacco.com, for all of the entertainment and activities coming up. And then next time you see us, Mr. Shorty Rossi will be with us as well. That's going to be episode number 39. And it'll be our Dead Weird special. It's his idea. He wanted to do it in costume. Be sure to tune in and see what it all look like with a little extra help, shall we say. Kid, what do you think? Second podcast down, pretty simple?
Yeah, pretty simple.
Anything you want to plug on your end? How's your department going?
New hats. Those came out a while ago, but oh geez, I don't have one of them. You guys don't have it. Nice blue baseball cap style. So if you're looking for something to block the shade for the next summer coming around, maybe stop on by. Maybe from our website.
Bill, anything fun in your world you want to share?
Yeah, I got a funny email today, early this morning, and it was about chasing the dragon.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, that cigar. So Vaughn Boyd and her attorney decided to file a petition of cancellation against me for my trademark, Chasing the Dragon, today, which is kind of interesting because I want to see what proof she has to prove that I don't know Deadwood Tobacco Company.
That's definitely breaking news. I kind of feel bad for asking, but not really, since it's all going to be out there at the end. Preacher, what do you got going on?
Man, we got some new cutters that are going to be coming out in the next little while. Stickers, just fun stuff, man. Working on some of that.
And as the podcast goes, we are revamping and not really rebranding. It's going to be the same old snarky faces you always see. But we've called in a few favors, some folks that I met for the first time at PCA this past summer. In the next 3 months on this podcast, we will see Mr. John Huber from Crown Heads.
Yeah.
You will see Christian Arroyo from CLA Arroyo.
Yes.
And Nick Malillo from Foundation Cigars have all confirmed to be on the podcast between now and the end of the year. And Bill, thanks very much for reaching out to these friends of yours who I know you have long relationships with to get them to contribute to what we're trying to do and build here at the shop. And we're looking forward to learning more about all the fun stuff they've got coming up.
Those going to be great interviews, man. Don't want to miss them.
Nope.
That'll do it for us. Episode 38 in the books. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you buy yourself that Maduro Pack in the humidor under $80. Right now, we're going to smoke it on November 7th. As always, like, subscribe. Make sure you check out our socials for all of the activities going on. Kid, Bill, Ethan, thanks very much. That's it. We'll see you next week.
Hey, guys.